From the Oklahoma newsroom, this is an OU update. I'm Jenny Carlson. Questions as the Sooners roll into spring football practice about who takes over the running back position with Samaje Perine, Joe Mixon headed to the NFL. Brooke Pryor joins us on the phone to talk about a leading candidate, Brooke, and that would be Rodney Anderson, a guy that has shown pretty big-time potential these last couple years, but has had both seasons derailed by injury. This last year, really kind of a scary injury. You had a chance to talk to his family. What was that like as they sort of soaked in what had happened, a scary neck injury?
Well, you know, it's one of those things, it's kind of a mother's worst nightmare to get a phone call from her son's school that says, Rod, you know, your son has a neck injury, you need to get here. We'll tell you more when you get here. So that's kind of, you know, a worst case scenario. But as she found out, what had happened was kind of a freak injury. There was no major, you know, tackle or big, you know, catastrophic hit. Just hit him the wrong way, and he ends up with a broken bone in his neck. His parents stayed up here for a couple days afterwards, and, you know, they kind of felt like a terrible version of deja vu. You know, they last year had gone through kind of something similar when Rodney broke his leg against Tennessee. His parents were there to see that one, but they just thought, oh my gosh, you know, 2 back-to-back season-ending injuries. What are the odds? You know, how are we going to get through this? So it was very eye-opening to hear their perspective on that.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, 2 years, 2 injuries. You know, you don't have a minor neck break. I mean, that's pretty serious, even if it is on the lower end. But what about Rodney Anderson himself, Brooke? I mean, we've heard physically that he looks great. Coaches have raved about his physique, where he is in terms of, you know, just building his body and getting it ready for, you know, action on the field. But what about him? I mean, he's had these 2 seasons derailed by these injuries. How is he approaching things?
You know, I think it's one of those things that he's made peace with. I can tell that, I don't think impatient is the right word, but I think he is so ready to get back out on the field. You know, right now he's wearing a green non-contact jersey through spring ball, and that is frustrating to him because he feels fully healthy. You know, even Bob Stoops said a couple weeks ago that if there was a game on Saturday, he would be able to play. But because they want to minimize risk to re-injuring it or injuring something else, they want to keep that green non-contact jersey on him. So he's, you know, still kind of trying to get through this, you know, having to learn to be patient. Kind of the theme of his football career so far is just learning that patience, and then also staying in tune with his spiritual side. You know, talked to his mom about that. She said his dad is the one that really grounded him through all of this and is kind of the spiritual leader of their family. And he just, you know, talked to Rodney constantly and reassured him that everything was going to be fine and he was going to get through that.
Brooke will have a deep dive on Rodney Anderson, his background, those injuries. So you want to check it out on Sunday in the Oklahoman and on News OK. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.